जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय श्री श्री राधा माधव की। श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, The Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 26, King Puranjan Goes to the Forest to Hunt, verse number 13. Tripto Rishta Sudraptascha Kandarpakrishtamanasa न व्यचष्ट वरारोहाम गृहिणीं गृहमेधिनीम् तृप्तोरिष्टशुद्रप्तश्च कंडार्पकृष्टमानस न व्यचष्ट वरारोहाम गृहिणीं गृहमेधिनीम् तृप्तोरिष्टशुद्रपतश्च कंडार्पाकृष्टमानस न व्यचष्ट वरारोहाम गृहिणीं गृहमेधिनीम् तृप्तोरिष्टशुद्रपतश्च दर्पकृष्टमानस। न व्यचष्ट वरारोहाम् गृहिणीं गृहमेधिनीम् तृप्तोरिष्टशूद्रपतश्च कण्दर्पाकृष्टमानस न व्यचष्ट वरारोहाम् गृहिणीं गृहमेदिनीं तृप्तोरिष्टसूत्रप्तश्च कण्डार्पाकृष्टमानस न व्यचष्ट वरारोहाम् गृहिणीं गृहमेदिनीं तृप्तोरिष्टसूद्रिपत्तश्च दार्पकृष्टमानस न व्यचष्ट वरारोहाम् गृहिणीं गृहमेदिनीं तृप्त satisfied rishta joyful sudripta being very proud cha also kandarpa by cupid akrishta attracted manasa his mind na did not vachasta try vara aroham higher consciousness Grinim, wife, Grahamedhinim, one who keeps her husband in material life. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. After taking his dinner and having his thirst and hunger satisfied, King Puranjan felt some joy within his heart. Instead of being elevated to a higher consciousness, he became captivated by Cupid and was moved by a desire to find his wife who kept him satisfied in his household life. Purport. This verse is very significant for those desiring to elevate themselves to a higher level of Krishna consciousness. When a person is initiated by a spiritual master, he changes his habits and does not eat undesirable eatables or engage in the eating of meat, the drinking of liquor, illicit sex, or gambling. Satvik ahara, foodstuffs in the mode of goodness, are described in the Shastras as wheat, rice, vegetables, fruits, milk, sugar, and milk products. Simple food like rice, dal, chapatis, vegetables, milk, and sugar constitute a balanced diet. But sometimes it is found that an initiated person, in the name of prasad, eats very luxurious foodstuffs. Due to his past sinful life, he becomes attracted by Cupid and eats good food voraciously. It is clearly visible that when a neophyte in Krishna consciousness eats too much, he falls down. Instead of being elevated to pure Krishna consciousness, he becomes attracted by Cupid. The so called brahmachari becomes agitated by women, and the vanaprasth may again become captivated into having sex with his wife, or he may begin to search out another wife. Due to some sentiment, he may give up his own wife and come into the association of devotees and a spiritual master. But due to his past sinful life, he cannot stay. Instead of being elevated to Krishna consciousness, he falls down, being attracted by Cupid, and takes to another wife for sex enjoyment. The fall of the neophyte devotee from the path of Krishna consciousness down to material life is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17 by Narad Muni. त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणाम्बुजं हरेर्भजनन् अपाको अथ पतेत् ततो यदि यत्र क्व वा भद्रम् अमुष्य किं को वार्ता आप्तो अभजतां स्वधर्मतः. This indicates that although a neophyte devotee may fall down from the path of Krishna consciousness due to his immaturity, his service to Krishna never goes in vain. However, a person who remains steadfast in his family duty or so called social or family obligation but does not take to Krishna consciousness receives no profit. One who comes to Krishna consciousness must be very cautious and refrain from prohibited activities, as defined by Rupa Goswami in his Updeshamrit. अत्यार प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रह जनसंगश्च लौल्यं च सद्भिर्भक्ति विनश्यति. A devotee should neither eat too much nor collect more money than necessary. Eating too much or collecting too much is called atyahar. For such atyahar one must endeavor very much. This is called prayas. Superficially one may show himself to be very much faithful to the rules and regulations, but at the same time not fixed in the regulatory principles. This is called niyamagraha. By mixing with undesirable persons or janasanga, one becomes tainted with lust and greed and falls down from the path of devotional service. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षु उन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामी इति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So we continue to discuss about the story of Puranjan. So Puranjan has gone to the forest to hunt and he kills many animals. Then he gets tired. He comes back to his palace, takes shower, eats food, takes rest, and is pacified. Now he is uh, feeling joyful and satisfied, and his hunger and thirst and fatigueness is gone. So he's looking for his queen because he's attracted with Cupid. And that's the story. And understanding is that a living entity who is doing so much sense gratification and sinful activities, when somehow he comes to his senses and he comes to his conscience, he stops doing sinful activities and he takes bath, he becomes purified by coming in contact with Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and he stops doing from refrain from sinful activities and practices bhakti and has prasad, and then he has an opportunity now to connect to Krishna consciousness because he has stopped doing sinful activities, he has come to his senses, and now he can elevate himself by further continuing bhajan, by further continuing devotional service. But this verse is very important because it describes fall down. That one who has an opportunity now to grow in Krishna consciousness can actually fall down. That instead of going further in Krishna consciousness, can come down in spiritual material life again. Best car, best driver, best road, still accident is possible. So everything good in spiritual life going on, still accident is possible because Maya is very powerful. Maya keeps on attracting us, keeps on covering our knowledge, avaran atmika, and keeps on pulling us down, prekshapa atmika, and a person can fall down. So a person who comes to Krishna consciousness by the mercy of devotees, he stops unwanted activities, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. So the sinful activities were the source of joy for him. Sense objects was a source of joy for him. Sense gratification was a source of happiness for him. And he stops all that. But then the desire to be joyful and happy is still there. So he tries to find source of joy and happiness in Krishna consciousness, in chanting, in dancing, in philosophy, in beautiful decorated deities, in friendship with devotees, in festivals, in service, and in prasadam. And a new devotee may get very highly attracted to prasadam, and he may try to eat lots of opulent offerings and luxurious offerings and luxurious foodstuffs because he is attracted, and he is also encouraged to have prasadam nicely because prasadam purifies us from all the previous sinful reactions, from all the previous bad habits. At the same time, as one grows, one should learn to control his tongue. One should learn to have simple prasad, and one should learn to reduce having lots of opulent food stuff because our body and mind cannot manage it every day. Krishna can have every day good Rajbhog and sweets and other opulent food stuff, but for devotees, eventually one should have a very simple diet. That's helpful. But when one eats very nicely and is not yet mature in Krishna consciousness, is not yet pakka, then he can become weak in Krishna consciousness and get attracted to sense enjoyment. So he sees prasadam not as mercy, but he sees prasadam as sense object, and then he can get back breaking some regulative principles. So the urge to eat, the tongue, the belly, and the genitals, they are in one line. So when one satisfies the tongue by eating varieties of tasty foodstuffs, and one does it in a large quantity, then the belly is full. And when the tongue is satisfied and the belly is full, it puts pressure on the genitals to do sex enjoyment. And such a person looks forward to uh, a partner, wife, or outside marriage to fulfill his desires. So this may be a brahmachari who can get attracted to another lady, or a grahastha who gets attracted further to his own wife or somebody else's wife, or even a retired vanaprasth who gets attracted to his wife or somebody else's wife, or a sannyasi who has given up his wife but now looking for another's wife or another lady or disciple. That is very dangerous. This is fall down. Butter and fire. When butter and fire come together, butter will melt. That is fixed. So when a male and female come together, um, male will melt, the heart will get melted, lust will enter. That is fixed. That's why Shastra say one should avoid even sitting in same uh, sofa or something, bed with mother, sister, or daughter, because lust is very powerful. So when such a person in a brahmachari or renounced ashram falls down, then that is very grave offense, And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not appreciate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't give mercy to a person who claims to be renounced person, but privately, secretly trying to come in contact with opposite gender. And there's a very important lesson, an example of Chota Haridas. Once in Jagannath Puri, Bhagwan Acharya, he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agreed to come. Then, while making cooking, he wanted to offer best foodstuff to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is one very nice rice available, white rice. Like in India, there's famous basmati rice. So one very nice rice is available, but it was not in his house. It was in some other devotee's house. So he wanted to bring that rice to offer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, cook and offer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he had one friend sannyasi. His name is Chota Haridas or Junior Haridas. It's different from Haridas Thakur. So he told Chota Haridas, will you go to the house of Madhavi Devi and bring some rice for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Madhavi Devi is a pure devotee, very elderly Mataji, and she is sister of Sikhi Mahiti, who is another pure devotee. And it is said there are 3.5 devotees who are very, very intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One Ramanand Rai, second Swarup Damodar, third Sikhi Maithi, and half Madhavi Devi. Why half? Because she is a female and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not associate females closely. So Madhavi Devi is a very elderly, pure lady, and Chota Haridas is a sannyasi, and he went to Madhavi Devi and begged some rice. That's all he did, and came back and gave to Bhagwan Acharya. And Bhagwan Acharya did all the cooking, and he made rice and poured ghee on it, and sabjis and Jagannath Prasad and digestive aids and lemon with salt and ginger and everything, and he made a nice offering. So noontime Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he saw the offering and he could recognize this is very special rice. This is not regular rice, very fine rice, and so much fragrance was coming. So he got pleased. And then he asked Bhagwan Acharya, this is very nice rice. From where did you get? He said, I got it from Madhavi Devi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, but who went to her to collect rice? He said, I sent Chota Haridas. He went to collect rice. Then Chaitanya did not say anything. He had the prasad. He washed his hands and feet and he went to his room. In his room, he told to his assistant Govind, please send message to Chota Haridas. From today, he should not come to meet me. I will not meet him. I will not see his face. And nobody knew why. So Govind conveyed it to Haridas, Chota Haridas. He was crying and he stopped eating. And for 3 days, Nirjal, 3 days, he didn't eat and drink anything. So all the devotees got worried. Swarup Damodar, Ramanand Rai, and Parmanand Puri, and so many other devotees in Jagannath Puri, Kashi Mishra, they got worried that Haridas will die if he doesn't eat. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is angry on Haridas, and there is no reason. We are aware that he is angry. What offense he did, we don't know. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is independent Krishna, Supreme Personality of God. Who can go and ask him why? Uh, because he is Swarat. But there are some close associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, including Sadhu Damodar. They went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and very humbly and politely paying obeisances. Sadhu Damodar said, my dear Mahaprabhu, we want to know why you are not giving mercy to Chota Haridas. What mistake he has done, what offense he has done, and he is fasting thing 3 days, he has not eaten. We are afraid. What is happening? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard he is fasting since 3 days, but his anger didn't reduce. He spoke in very strong words. He said, I don't want to see face of a person who is a pretender. Pretender means mithyachari, false behavior. Outside, he wears the dress of a sannyasi or a brahmachari, renounced person, but inside he is looking for money and woman, name and fame, profit and prestige, position and power, and followers and disciples, and all this. Such a person, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't like. There's kapat, dokha, fraud. Inside is not equal to outside. Dishonesty. As we were discussing, the first step to spiritual advancement is humility, and the first step to become humble is honesty. And somebody is dishonest in his character, in his behavior, then how can he expect to climb up? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I don't want to see a face of a pretender in a sannyas ashram. He is associating with Mataji's woman. Even Chaitanya said, even coming in contact with a doll of a woman, a person's mind gets agitated. Even coming in contact with a wooden statue, a person's mind gets agitated. So when a renounced ordered person comes in contact with a lady in private, there will be changes in the body, and that is contamination. There will be changes in the mind, and that is contamination. I don't want to see his face. So then Sarup Damodar found out, what did Haridas do? Chota Haridas went and begged rice and came back. That's all. It was not an offense, kind of, because he begged rice for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered it a big thing because he wanted to teach a lesson to everybody. That he went in private and met a Mataji. In private, one should not meet a Mataji. For example, if a brahmachari in saffron goes to house of a lady who is staying alone, and he goes after 2 minutes, come out, what will people think? Even if he has not done anything, even if there is no interaction, unwanted interaction, still alone in the house of a lady who is alone and the person is alone, that increases doubt in the character and raises finger. That is inappropriate. What is the business? Why to do it? So Saru Damodar found out. Then he went back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, my dear Mahaprabhu, Haridas has done very small offense. He has not done a big offense. And he has already fasted for 3 days. He's realized his mistake. He will not do it again. And he has fasted, so he has purified himself, and he cannot live without you. And you like his singing because Haridas would every day sing for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with a very, very angelic voice. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would like his kirtan. So he will sing for you. He continues to repent. So please give him your mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got very angry. He said, I don't want to see face of a person who is duplicit. Or Vaishnava should be simple, saralta. Duplicit means inside not equal to outside. A Vaishnava should be as simple as a child, as innocent as a child, not duplicit and diplomatic to fulfill his sense gratificatory material desires or material ambition in the name of Krishna consciousness. One should not use Krishna consciousness to fulfill material desires. One should not take renounced order of life to have easy money and nice food and nice followers and disciples to take care and become king of the disciples or followers, or come in contact with women, which is very easy in such ashrams. So one should not take up Krishna consciousness to earn money by giving classes or leading kirtan and doing puja or bhakti and earn money out of it. Better a honest sweeper in the street, and we should practice pure devotional service, nishkam, no gain, material gain out of our bhakti. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I don't want like to see a person's face, he says duplicit. And please don't pressure me. If you pressure me, then I will leave this place. Now devotees didn't had any opportunity to speak to him. If they speak to him again, Chaitanya said, if you speak to him again, I will leave this place. And they can't do that. So they went to Parmanand Puri, who is senior to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's like spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he's god brother of Ishwar Puri. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu respect him on the level of spiritual master. The devotees are very clever. They went to Parmanand Puri. They said, you go and tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give mercy to Haridas. He has not done a big offense. So Parmanand Puri went to the room of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu next day. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was surprised, he is coming to me. He paid him obeisances, offered his seat, and after asking him, how are you? He said, how can I serve you? What is the purpose we have come here? Parman Puri said, my dear Mahaprabhu, you are independent in your desires. Whatever you wish will happen. But I have one humble prayer that Kota Haridas has done enough repentance. He has done enough fasting and he is crying. So please show him mercy. Chaitanya said, my dear Parman Puri, I want your permission to leave this place and to go to Alarnath, and I will go only with Govind, my assistant, and you stay here with devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up, he said, Govind, chalo, let's go. And he started going out. And Parman Puri was surprised that it worked ulta, it worked reverse. Now he's going away from Jagannath Puri. He somehow pacified him. He said, okay, okay, stay here, sit down. I will not talk about this topic. And Parman Puri also failed to convince him that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's independence. And Haridas was continued to persist his fasting. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to take darshan of Jagannath, Haridas would stand very far to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu darshan and keep crying. So Sarup Damodar went to Haridas. He said, look, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is independent supreme personality of Godhead and he is persisting with his anger for you. And if you also persist to fast, his persistence will increase. So I request you to stop your fasting and don't worry, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful. Namo Mahavadanaya, very, very kind. This is his pastime. One day he will show his mercy to you. So Haridas said okay, and he broke his fast. And every day he would cry and wait that Sarup Damodar told one day he will show mercy. So I have hope. For one full year, Haridas was staying, waiting, waiting, waiting. It didn't happen. One day he told devotees, I am going to Triveni Sangam Prayagraj to take bath in Ganga, and he left. Then he never came back. What happened is he went to Triveni Sangam and committed suicide. He went inside the waters and drowned. So he never came back. So devotees started discussing what happened, what happened. But after committing suicide, he became uh, liberated. And in the spiritual body, he would come and sing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would hear the sweet singing. And only nobody could hear, only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would hear. And sometimes when devotees would bath in the ocean, they would hear the singing, but they cannot see him. So they started guessing maybe he became Gandharva, or maybe he became demigod, or maybe he became ghost, because after committing suicide, generally a person becomes ghost. So Sarudama said, impossible. Whole life he chanted Hare Krishna, so he cannot get a lower species. He cannot get become ghost. He has definitely got elevated. He has definitely got mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they all went and told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we think Chota Haridas has committed suicide and he is still singing for you. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard that sannyasi disciple, the devotee committed suicide, he just smiled. And everybody was surprised hearing the news of suicide. He is smiling. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, for a devotee who behaves in this way, who dishonestly associates with women, uh, in renounced order, this is very appropriate that he commits suicide because he is not worth continuing his life. Even Lord Brahma committed suicide when he got attracted to his own daughter and changed his body. So then devotees learned a lesson, and devotees after this were so afraid they would not even talk to women. They were so afraid that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will become angry and he will withdraw his mercy. They will not talk to women. So next time there is one devotee who went to Prayagraj and he heard the whole news and he came and he actually narrated the actual thing that Haridas was very repentant and in the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he went to the Triveni Sangam and he drowned himself and he died. And then Srivas Pandit and Shivanand Sen after few months came and they discussed more with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and came to know that he has got a spiritual body, he is liberated, and he still sings for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is a very, very important pastime. Generally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in whole Chaitanya Chaitamrita is described as very, very magnanimous, very, very merciful, very, very soft-hearted, which is really true. But in this pastime, it looks like he is not soft-hearted and he is very strong and he is very persistent in not giving mercy to Haridas who has done a minor offense because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't wanted in future people use the example of Haridas and do these offenses and see it's okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu forgives Hota Haridas, so I also will get forgiveness. And in future the management of any temple who has brahmachari or sannyasi staying in the temple or under them, they should learn a lesson that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't forgive this kind of activities. So this kind of situation should be dealt very seriously. It cannot be very lightly dealt. That chalta hai, it is okay. Such a brahmachari or such a sannyasi should not continue wearing saffron, should do very menial service and purify himself. So even though one fall downs, it is not a loss because he can continue his bhakti. But if somebody doesn't practice bhakti but is very moral, there is no profit because eventually you go back to lower species, dog and cat. So Krishna consciousness, there may be temporary interruptions, but there is no failure. Temporarily one may fall down, but there is no failure. And after fall down, if somebody sincerely wants to continue chanting and hearing, then or she should be given an opportunity because every devotee has a past. Every devotee has some bad habits in the past. Every devotee has accidents. The difference between two devotees, one who has accident and one who doesn't have accident, is only the difference of one is caught and one is not caught. In private, who has what kind of behavior, we don't know. So every devotee should be given a chance. If somebody has a fall down and he wants to come back to practice Krishna consciousness, he should be given a chance with humble service attitude. Just like if you are a soldier on the border and there's a fight between the other country and you have a friend with you and both of you are shooting bullets to the enemy and the enemy bullet hits the friend's arm and then he has to go back to the tent of army to the doctor and he has to remove the bullet and do the bandage. So he has a bandage in his arm and he comes back next day again shooting bullets to the enemy. What will you say? Will you tease him that you are wounded or will you salute him that yesterday you are wounded with a bullet, today again you are fighting? Right? That is brave, that is courageous. Anybody who has a bullet shot, he will not like to come again to fight because he is afraid. In the same way, every day we are practicing bhakti, we are fighting with Maya. And Maya is so powerful, she puts a bullet in us and we fall down. But next day again we come for Mangala Arti and sit and chant. That means the soldier has again come to fight. That shoulder should not be teased or criticized, but that shoulder should be saluted. That devotee should be saluted. That yesterday you had a challenge with Maya, and today again you are chanting and attending Mangala Arti. I salute. The devotee should be respected for continuing the fight with Maya in spite of fall downs, in spite of challenges, in spite of wounds, in spite of difficulties, and they should be encouraged and inspired to continue bhakti. And of course, they should stop doing sinful activities. Not that every day they do sinful activities. They should stop doing sinful activities. They should not be harmful to the society. Some person's fall down is such that he is harmful to the society, so he has to be kept away from the community. But otherwise, like repeated stealing, somebody does stealing in the temple repeatedly, then he has to be kept away. Or child abuse, or woman abuse, or violence repeatedly, then he has to be kept away because it's harmful to the society. It takes different measures to rectify. But in general, devotees should be encouraged if they want to rectify themselves. They be given a chance so that they continue to serve Krishna. And Haridas suicide is a very rare example, and it should not be imitated. Today, weak devotees, we are all weak. Do not think that because I committed some offense, so I should commit suicide. Prabhupada didn't appreciate that. Prabhupada said not to do definitely. So we should take help from senior Vaishnavas, advanced devotees, and rectify our problems and continue to serve Krishna by following four regulative principles and chanting the holy name. So there are unfavorable activities to Krishna consciousness. We should be very careful. From Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada quotes six unfavorable activities. What is that? Atyara, collecting more than necessary, collecting more money, or collecting more objects, or eating too much. One should not do that. Atyahara. Second is prayasa. Prayasa means over endeavor. Over endeavor to fulfill material desires. Too much endeavor to fulfill material desires. That one should not do. Atyahara prayasascha. Prajalpa. Prajalpa means unwanted talk, gossip. One should not talk in unnecessary things apart from Krishna consciousness or service to Krishna. Then Prajalpa Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha is a person who follows the rules for the sake of rules, but not actually for advancement in spiritual life. Or one who doesn't follow the rule. He is mentally speculate according to his mood and mind, he does bhakti. Niyamagra Janasanga. Janasanga means unwanted association of public who are not devotees. Laulyam. Laulyam is greedy for material objects, greedy for material fulfillment and sense enjoyment and ambition, desire. So these are six unwanted items in bhakti. Atyahara, collecting more than necessary. Prayasa, over endeavor. Prajalpa, unwanted talks. Niyamagra, not following the rules or following for the sake of rules and not actual bhakti. Janasanga, unwanted bad association. Laulyam, too much greedy for material endeavors, material objects. So one should avoid these things and in association of devotees, pure devotees, guidance of pure devotees, practice bhakti so that one continues to progress and there is no fall down. Okay, we end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hare Krishna. If there are any comments or questions, you may please ask. Is it advisable to make and is it advisable to make and distribute opulent or rich? Yeah, Krishna should be offered best. So, offering to Krishna, there is no restriction. Distribution also, there is no restriction. One who is going to honor, he should do it in small quantity as per the health and requirement. Okay.
Hi, Krishna. I also have one question. So, just a clarification. So, Chota Haridas actually didn't look at the Mataji with ill intentions, right? He just sort of begged the prasadam from her, which he shouldn't have done. Is that his only?
That was in private. So, a private transaction Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't like that. He thought he understood. Uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did this to teach a lesson to all of us, that there should not be any private interaction between a male and a female. No, no. Yes and no. He is independent. He wants to make a, see, to establish a standard in the society so that devotees do not misuse. He established it through a very high level. When a high level standard is established, at least medium is followed, right? So, what he should do, what he should not do, that is not in our part of discussion or judgment. But he established a standard so that devotees at least follow something. If he established a different standard, devotees will follow differently. So he established a very high standard that a sannyasi interacting with a lady, I don't want to see your face. So what to speak about sannyasi or brahmachari interacting with a lady with ill intention, or what to actually touching each other or talking unwanted things. So that is simply no. So this is how the standard is established. A very high standard is established. So anything below that is to be avoided. And but somebody may say, how do you know I have ill intentions? And he may just escape, right? So here it is not mentioned Haridas had a ill intention. So anybody may say, I just went to have prasadam. She invited me. I didn't have any ill intention. So you punish me only based on ill intention, not on activity. Nobody's intentions can be known to us. So we don't judge others by intentions because intentions are private. We judge others or understand others by behavior, right? Intentions are not known to us, it's only known to Krishna or us. I mean, me and Krishna know my intention. Anybody else cannot know my intention. So the only way to characterize a person is through behavior, external behavior. So there are etiquettes and rules and regulations. So if with a good intention I go to some lady's house and come back, you will not know what was my intention. You will only see me going and coming back, right? So a person with bad intention also does the same thing. Both, so both are equal for a observer. That's why it's not based on intentions. Okay? Yes. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay. Best is to avoid. If there are other male devotees, they can do. So the whole concept is to reduce the interaction. With all good intentions, still Maya is very powerful. The whole concept is to reduce the interaction. And if you see the history of ISKCON, male, female, if at all accidents have happened, it has started with prasad only. Serving prasad, cooking prasad, giving prasad. It started with that only. It starts that way only. So I'm not saying doing that is wrong. I'm saying that is the path generally starts. So best to avoid. Right. Any more questions? Okay, we end here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.